This is Jesse the Body along with Vince What's-His-Name. You're nothing without Jesse the Body Ventura.
What is this, Jess, going hunting?
No, actually, McMahon, I was hoping I wouldn't be seen with you, so I wore camouflage.
I must say you're looking very festive.
I feel festive, McMahon, but I got a problem. I need your gut to fill out this suit. There's nothing I'd rather do than spend my Thanksgiving weekend with a turkey in a tuxedo.
You so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome everybody to Juice Pro Wrestling episode 180. The Voices. The voices of generations. It's WrestleMania week. It had me feeling all nostalgic and shit. So, hey, I hit up Bodi. I hit up Sreten, and I'm like, you know what? I got one hell of an idea for a somewhat focused episode this week. Now, for those of you that are wrestling fans out there, there have been many voices that define pro wrestling, that define a generation, right? And I'm not just talking about commentators. I am talking about commentators, but I'm also talking about backstage interviewees, ring announcers, all that good shit, all the voices that have left a deep impact on my motherfucking brain and my soul. So we're going to go through a list tonight, and between myself, the tightest motherfucking cheeks in the game of bruising motherfucking booty.
You know it.
They're so tight, it's ridiculous.
Dude.
They become real quick.
Come together like butt cheeks.
Yeah. And the somewhat savage gentleman. I can't do that. That's gimmick infringement. Sorry, Victor. Sreten the motherfucking savage. We're going to go through a list, a roundtable discussion, if you will, of some of these men that have just, they all deserve to be in some pro wrestling hall of fame somewhere, sometime. Mm-hmm. And then as we wind down and end that discussion real quick, you know, a couple of latest happenings and whatnot in the wrestling business going on today. So I'm just going to dive in. The first one. Mean. My God.
Yeah.
Gee. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
All right. Pass the fucking potatoes.
That's right.
So this episode is going to be 55 minutes of Mean Gene and then 5 minutes of everybody else.
Exactly.
It's pretty much. I might have to fucking cut you guys short on this one because there's so much to talk about with Gene. I just recently watched his little mini doc again on the Peacock WWE network. Dude, Mean Gene, it's hard to even put into words what he means to the professional wrestling business. He is probably out of this whole list, my top. Because it's weird, right? I went into this list thinking of like the most notable voices. Right? Like these are the voices that stick with you. And, you know, myself and Bodi doing vocals for metal bands and shit, you know, we kind of know what it's like to hear a good fucking voice. Sreten, he likes podcasting and radio. He knows much of the same. So that's how
I jerk off to a lot of EDM or what is
you
it?
do.
That relaxation.
You and Gringo Loco?
Yeah, me and Gringo Loco. I like listening to people eat oatmeal and cornflakes.
Oh, you're talking, dude.
It really gets me going.
Cornflakes for sure.
So
Rice
back to Mean
Krispies would be
Gene.
one for me too.
Yeah, back to Mean Gene. And
sorry, cereal fetishes.
if you guys are listening right now on Spotify or iTunes, any of that shit, be sure to go to jpdub.com and check out this video. And you can see my Mean Gene newly acquired LJN action figure from the 80s. Mean Gene was the guy who was pretty much everywhere except really at the commentary table. The only time I remember him doing commentary was when he came back for Mania, was it 17 or something? The gimmick battle royal and him and Bobby.
Yeah.
And dude, that shit was great. This is a real easy one. The guy meant so much to the business, and his voice is just like, when you think of like a wrestling commentator or I'm sorry, I'm fucking myself up once again. When you think of someone interviewing in the ring or backstage, like in my mind, I always think of Mean Gene first, man. And real quick, Sreten, because you're kind of the oddball out, but not so much on this one. Quick synopsis of why you love Mean Gene Okerlund so much.
If I was a more prepared person and I was more professional, I would say this better. But when I was a kid and I watched wrestling, Mean Gene was at the center of everything. I don't know if there was before him or will be after him a person on the level of what he did, doing what he did so perfectly. I didn't watch the news. I didn't, I thought about it earlier. My authority figures when I was a kid, other than my parents and their friends, came from wrestling. Like otherwise I watched cartoons and I watched shit that was geared towards kids. So I didn't know, like when I watched this stuff, I'm watching grown men and women fight each other. And they were all these, like, they were kind of authority figures on TV. And Mean Gene was the guy that kind of was like the reporter. So he replaced anything that had to do with the news. Like I thought probably until I was like, 15 or 16 years old, or I watched the news before that, but I didn't give a shit. But he was that guy that kind of formed what I thought a reporter was supposed to look like. A person that would walk around, always dressed nicely, awesome voice, spoke super fast and got all his questions out, and always had the mic. Like he was so good at what he did. And to set a tone where he was so professional, talked so fast, but clearly, and if you really, really think about it, he was kind of invisible the whole time. Like, how do you have a voice that is ingrained in everybody's head? You're the guy at every fucking interview, and then you're like that tall. You're that, well, the height thing, but who gives a shit about that part? Camera. But his whole point was like, you're not supposed to focus on him, and we never do. Nowadays, you get the same guy, no knock against them. Like, who's the guy on Rampage that says it's time for the main event?
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. Like,
oh, you can knock him. I don't think he's good backstage. Well, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Well, the thing with him, like it's kind of on a totally different side of the spectrum. But they brought him in because he was a performer, and he was like, let's see if we could plug you in here. Where Mean Gene was that guy, and he was the best at it. And again, he wasn't actually meant to be noticed in any way. He highlighted every motherfucker that he pointed the mic to. He was just awesome. He was like, and then the last thing is that because he was such an authority figure, I didn't have a lot of family here. I sort of had like that voice was kind of like a uncle voice, so that's, I mean, I love the dude, man. He's fucking great. He's a fucking legend. True. And I'm happy out of almost all of my things as a little kid that Mean Gene had an influence in my psyche.
Yes. From the AWA to WWF and or E. I still can't get over that. To WCW and then back to WWE and then to Bruiser Bodie. What did Mean Gene mean to you?
No, he was the voice of that golden age era. He had the backstage interviews, like Sreten said, dude. Those are the classics. And the outtakes that he had, but
outtakes were the best.
His outtakes were the best. Yeah,
put that cigarette out.
He's dropping the F-bomb. I mean, you think about it. Besides Howard Finkel, that was the voice. You talk about voices, and then he was doing the like the hotline and stuff like that, the little news bits real quick, and he was doing that. So he was the voice of the WWF back then. I always like to call him the voice of the golden era.
I like
that's how he is.
The backstage interview. It's the outtake. You're talking about the outtakes. It's him and Nikolai Volkov. He's like, your voice is really the shits.
Yeah, it's really the shits.
Like Mean Gene didn't give a fuck, dude.
He didn't.
Fuck. Yeah, in the land of giants, he didn't take no shit. I love like his interactions too. You don't really see that anymore with any of these modern day people interviewing the wrestlers backstage or in the ring. The dude took a fucking, I think it was a beer bottle or a can to the face, and you could see if you watch back, was it July 7th, 96, the formation of the New World Order, when everybody's throwing the trash and shit in the ring, he just gets fucking beamed. and he's got blood coming down his nose, and he's still rocking.
Oh
it,
yeah, because he's the man. Yeah, because he's Mean Gene Okerlund. He ain't take no shit from nobody.
That was a work. That's the one and only time he cut himself.
Yep.
Yeah,
bladed.
Gene's blading in the ring.
Yeah.
All the time,
Hold on
yep.
1 minute.
Pass the fucking potatoes.
Where's my blade? Where's my fucking blade?
Thank you, Schiavone.
Yeah, no shit. And
Handoffs. His handoffs were so clean. Like everything was just so seamless to him. He's got that buttery smooth voice too, which always puts me at ease.
He is one of those guys that you forget how hard promos are for most people. Modern day, the majority of people are not good at promos, especially unscripted promos. And you get a lot of stuttering. You get a lot of they're not good. And he there's outtakes, but we didn't know about those outtakes until 10 or 15 years ago when YouTube became more popular and whatever.
Right.
But outside of that, I don't think there's a lot of outtakes. Like for all the shit he did and for how
there's
fast
outtakes,
he
but
spoke.
we just haven't seen them.
Well, for how fast he spoke, holy shit, was he good?
You guys, I'm telling you, everybody watching and listening right now, if you have Peacock or access to it, that it's a 30-minute doc. It's fucking great, dude. And I'm sitting there at work and I'm just like missing Mean Gene really hard, dude. And I'm like, God damn it, keep it together. I got to sell some parts.
Yep. He stayed in his lane, man. He knew his lane. He owned his lane.
He knew what I mean? And he gelled well with quite a few of the other gentlemen in this list. So, keep him with the groove and the rhythm. Rhythm is a dancing. Let's move on a little bit to another guy that you guys know very well. He only worked in the WWE, I believe, for a year, maybe two. He's most well known for WCW and now AEW. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Tony Schiavone.
Schiavonsky.
Come on, Bodi. Give me some Tony.
What do you want? What do you want?
I want to know, what did Tony mean to you? And, because
you shaking me down,
voice in WCW, when you say WCW to me,
yes,
I hear
Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone talking.
Yeah, dude. And that's, another thing too. And a lot of this brings back a lot of nostalgia, man. But like with Gene Okerlund, he was the voice to me, like back then. And I'm thinking now, when I was watching WCW and, NWA and stuff, but WCW for sure. When I think about it, it's him. He's doing the interviews. He was on commentary. And, besides, Larry Zbyszko and Bischoff, that was the trio right there, but people coming in and out, but that voice is synonymous with WCW, the Schiavone. And then that's why I love listening to him in AEW so much and doing interviews, because it reminds me of that time, like in high school, the NWO era, the Monday Night Wars, like, you say, or I said that Mean Gene was like the voice of the golden era. I sometimes like to think Schiavone was the commentary voice of that Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, I could give you that. And you brought up another guy too, who actually made this list, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. How could you not think of a W? I was going to add Bischoff on this list, and maybe, but not so much. Like straight up, someone's to say WCW, like your favorite shit about it instantly, like, and those guys are just commentators, albeit Zbyszko was a retired wrestler then, but there's some of the first names that rushed to my head. Like, and it's like you said, they're everywhere. Their voices, their demeanor, Zbyszko was awesome because he was the living legend. Yep. He was just this old fucking dude from a bygone era.
Exactly.
The NWO
wrestler.
Yeah. The new world odor. And he always had to do the living legend thing, the Larry Zbyszko fucking deal.
Are we off Schiavone?
No, keep it on it for a minute.
Oh, yeah, because I don't have a lot of input with a lot of these names. But Schiavone, I do, and I did not realize it until Wallace got me into AEW and they started Dynamite and Schiavone was back. And that's when I was like, holy shit. Like, if you would have put a gun to my head and said, name the guy from WCW back during the Monday Night Wars, I'd have been like, I can't. And then when Schiavone came back, I was like, oh my God, that's the voice. I fucking know this voice. This voice was from an awesome time.
Yep.
of entertainment time in my life.
Know?
Yeah, childhood.
Your formative years. Like
exactly. I was like, holy shit, that's the voice. And then to know that he's still doing it, like we are so lucky that he decided to come back and even do this shit. Because
he was doing it in ML Dub too before he went to AEW. And I was kind of heartbroken that he left. I mean, don't get me wrong, nostalgia. There's that filthy N-word again.
Yeah.
And AEW on TNT, Tony Schiavone and TNT, that shit made me mark out. Dude. I was that's a cool feeling, that this shit can continue. And in some ways, AEW to me is like, all right, WCW died, but maybe this is kind of the new wave, of just that experience. And I don't care if they kick the shit out of WWE or whatever. Watch what you want to watch, but
I'm enjoying what I'm watching.
Yeah, dude, I want it to be fun like it has been. So anyways, Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone is a man.
It also makes you think, which is going to be the running theme of this episode, I think. There's new voices coming in, right? And they're testing people. And Chris Jericho has a mind to, he obviously wants to be a commentator. And there's other people that want to be that thing. But most of us have this like really, really hardcore attachment to those old voices. So they're like, those voices are dead. There's new people with new voices, but it's a testament to what kind of impression those fucking people had on us and our brains and our lives that it's super hard to let go. One day Schiavone's not going to be doing it. It's probably not going to be so far ahead because although he looks fucking fantastic, he's also up there in age. What's his face? It's on the list. By God guy.
Wow, good old JR.
We'll just segue into John Ross. I mean,
but like even him, all these voices, like
a lot of them.
Yeah, like these are voices that once they're not, we miss a lot of them. I mean, shit. The intro, Jesse Ventura, like that still gets me charged up. His voice, it will always be important to me, and I will always love it. And the people that imitate him, there's stand-ups that imitate him, and it's always awesome because he was such a
last
character.
Podcast on the left. Shout out to those guys. They fucking did the. Jesse,
that's my shit. That's my shit. I'm very happy Schiavone is still doing his thing because it gives me another like it's just nice to hear his voice on Wednesdays and Fridays, but
totally
Wednesdays.
It's great. It's a great voice. It's another voice.
Yes.
That's just, how do you describe like the person's actual voice? You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys on here have something about them vocally that's just there. Yeah. Not just the character, but it's like I'm talking like vocalization, like it's just, and us being like media guys and vocalists and shit. That's why I felt this was like important episode to talk about because on the media side of shit, like, dude, I'm influenced by a lot of these dudes, all of these dudes, pretty much. Even your Michael Coles, we'll get to him in a little bit, but you're sitting there and you're talking about your WCW, your Tony Schiavone, your fucking Larry Zbyszko's. How about, and we're going to bounce back and forth all episode long. People get ready. Bounce. But let's go to the professor, motherfucking Mike Tenay. If we're going to talk about WCW as well, especially in the, later half, Mike Tenay, who went on to TNA, Impact Wrestling, with another guy we're going to talk about. Dude, this guy, He came in and he knew, dude, he just instantly had like that sportscaster feel to him. And he just knew all his shit. Total fucking dork talking wrestling, but like smart. Oh yeah. This luchador, went to school with that guy and they fucking have lunch on Tuesday. He just knew everything about him.
Exactly.
And it was cool, dude. And Mike Tenay was like the voice, like I said, of later successful WCW. Him and, I would say Schiavone,
Schiavone and Tenay.
Yeah. But dude, and Tenay's gone on to do some, and Sreten doesn't really know too much about Mike Tenay. See, he wasn't watching wrestling at that time. Dude, Bodi,
I know.
From WCW to TNA for, I don't know how many years. He did like at least 12 years.
I was just going to say 12, 13 years.
And now I don't know what he does. I'm not sure if he's still active, if he's
might
fucking
be pooping
sports shit. He's living out in Vegas. Maybe he's
could be pooping. I don't know. That's actually, I want to say I read something not long ago what he was doing. I can't remember for shit, but I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. If anybody knows, let us know what Mike Tenay is up to.
OnlyFans,
gambling,
OnlyFans,
spreading his butt cheeks on
only stands.
That's highly inappropriate, Sreten. Mike Tenay, though,
Respect.
Mad respect. And his a colleague of him while he was in TNA is the homeboy Don West, dude. The fucking TNA brown bag deals or the $20 deals they used to have back in the day. It's like $20 and you get like 4 DVDs and a shirt or something silly and say the dude was a good. He was. I don't want to go as far as to say he was a Bobby Heenan, but he kind of gave me Heenan vibes, but a little bit different, you know.
Tenayski?
Like, no, Don West, dude.
Oh, Don West.
Give it the program, son.
Sorry, I thought we were still talking about Tenay. I'm hung up on what he's doing nowadays.
Yeah, nobody knows. The world may never know.
Oh,
come back, Mike. Come back. Go to AEW. That would be great.
One time.
Okay, just sign the whole WCW roster.
One time D-ski.
Yeah.
You might as well. Don West.
He's great. He's really, dude, he's the voice of TNA to me.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Like after him and Tenay, their commentary was just like they're still struggling, you know? Like right now, I like who's the dude, young guy from WWE?
Oh, that's
that's doing Impact.
Yeah, Johnny Commentary.
Johnny Commentary, dude.
That's what it is.
The name too.
It's real.
Dude, I'm so spacing the name. I know what you're talking about. He's a handsome devil.
Yeah, but he's doing shit, and they got the artist that Matthew, the guy who was Rusev.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Rusev Day. Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey and Johnny Commentary are the new Impact commentating team, and they're fucking awesome, man.
There you go. So what does that say? We can't even fucking tell you, even though we could tell you. You know, lowered expectations.
This is what you get, folks. Just wait till you start paying for content.
Dude, Don West, and he just had a battle with what was it? Like, I think he's had like cancer or some shit go on recently, man. So he's like recovering from that. That would suck to lose him. And he's like, from what I understand, I think he's a local boy, like Northwest Indiana, dude. I think he's from the area.
Find us.
All right, real quick. Tom Hannafin.
Voice of team.
That's who's doing the commentary, and then he's doing it with Matthew Rehwoldt.
Yeah, he used to be Tom Phillips in WWE.
You guys were way off with that Johnny
Matthew
Hollywood name.
We used to be part of the Vaudevillians.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
with the dude from Contra Unit.
Yeah.
I play the games that watch it.
Yeah, way better outside of the E for sure.
Yeah, but Bodi,
Don West.
Back to Don West. I think we can end on Don West saying we could both agree, dude. Like super hype energy. Like he was just a guy. He seemed like he didn't know a lot of the moves and shit, but like his reactions to when shit happened, it was just like,
oh, it was the best. He had good reaction. He had a really great rapport with Tenay too.
Yeah,
and Impact. And you remember when Don West snapped like on Tenay?
Yeah, when he
it was the best. And Tenay,
he was heel.
I just watched that video not long ago, and just the reaction of Tenay. It's like total, like almost a shoot face, you know, or So it's like at the time, I'm like, man, is this really happening? And I was like, oh no, never mind. But no, that was the best. He just gets up and leaves the commentator booth, and he just grabs a mic, cuts a promo on Tenay real quick, and quits. No, you didn't stick up for me. You threw me under the bus because you got your lips so far up his ass. He was snapping. It's the best.
Dude, I remember that.
Maybe we'll drop that clip somewhere in here. We'll just stop for like a minute and a half and play that promo.
Don definitely deserves
a bad man,
that.
Dude.
Hell yeah. Moving on. Let's move on from Don West now. Let's get to a guy that Sreten still probably doesn't know. Joey Styles from ECW, dude.
My God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about ECW.
Well, Joey ended up
ECW.
Yeah, easy as shit goes. ECW, Sreten was fucking amazing. It was a revolution. It was a counterculture.
You've never mentioned
wrestling in the 1990s, brother.
Brother.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll, brother. ECW, yeah.
I just know about the two wrestlers, Shabu and Mario Van Dam.
Shabu. Jesus fucking
Shabu.
Hey, buddy, come on. You fucked up. You fucked up.
You fucked up.
Joey Styles was a one-man deal in ECW, and he was awesome for one guy to be calling the matches, and he had a voice that stuck out. He knew the fucking moves. He sold shit like crazy. He got involved. He was in the ring interviewing guys. Went to WWE, did, you know, and then got fired. Ran their social media, and got fired for whatever. But he's another guy that his voice, dude, you'll always think like EC Dub, like Joey Styles.
Always, yeah. He was a one-man commentary team. He didn't need the color because he was play-by-play and color commentary.
He was a play-by-play boy.
Ooh, he was.
Next shirt.
Play-by-play boy. He had so many classic one-liners and just his voice. It was so raw and it was so perfect for ECW at that moment in time. I mean, it's so synonymous. He's on spaghetti legs. Takata Hajime.
Yeah,
like he knew all he knew all the like technical terms and everything. That was one of the first I think commentators I like fell in love with that like broke it down. You know, Tenay broke it down. Like you were saying earlier with he knew the moves, the background, and the history, but Joey Styles had something different to him when he explained it and the moves he would come up with. Like when you know, Guerrero and Malenko showcased, you know, their talents, and like the way he called that match was just beautiful. And like he could do everything. He could do technical, lucha, hardcore, death match. Like he knew it all. And he knew when to turn it up and when to tone it down. Like he had just a great inflection in his voice, the high pitch scream.
Yeah, he was high pitch. He's another good high pitch commentator that like isn't annoying. And dude, that guy, it's a shame that he's not doing anything else. And he did some shit for MLW too. Yeah, I'm sure he's done some other stuff, but that's just from what I can remember.
Sassy.
Let's kick it back old school. Something that kind of relates to ECW, a guy that invaded ECW. Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, that prick.
Living puppies. Puppies. Puppies.
The horniest dude at the table.
Dude, right? Like pumping socks off. That's why he had a heart attack at the desk, you know? I mean, I would
permanent pump underneath the table.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, he was out of hand, man. But he was a good commentator. He was perfect for the Attitude Era. Like that's what they needed. Like him and JR. That was probably, you know, you talk about commentary teams of the ages. That's one of them right there. That's the Attitude Era. JR and JL. No one calls him JL. Get the fuck out of here. No. The King.
JKL. He's the Jackal. Talk about Jackal. No, talk about Jerry the King. Lawler.
I thought we were talking about Lawler.
Yeah, not filthy Tom, Bodie. Not filthy Tom.
Right. I know this is like filthy Tom. I know this is like a celebration of them, but later on, I wasn't too much of a fan of Lawler's commentator.
Yeah, I think he kind of just got burnt out on it. You know? Like,
I think so too.
And that dude, I'll tell you what, he's one hell of an artist. That dude can draw some shit. He's in like, dude, he's done everything, man. Remember
he's had some classic
Warrior and like busted over his head. Some shit because the Warrior was wearing a hat. He's like, why the fuck you wearing a hat? You never wear a hat.
No, never.
You didn't want to sell the fucking shot or something. Who knows?
Right. You could put him up there with the best one-liners in the company too.
Yeah.
He had some great ones, some classics.
He's cool. We saw him Sreten, we saw him live. Who did he wrestle live at that BLP GC Dub show? Was that Mance Warner?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Mance Warner.
I don't remember. I just remember being as old as he was, still performing, and like he did it how like an older guy is supposed to do it. Like just talk most of the time, piss off the audience, and be a pig, have all attitude, boy. Be confident, and don't take a bump. I think he took one.
Right. Yeah. He knows how to work the crowd, man.
Power driver.
Yeah. It's a nice change of pace at that show since we almost saw someone die.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So he's talking about G-Raver. Anyways, we're talking about Jerry the King fucking
Yes, we're
Lawler.
talking about the King.
The guy, another high pitch, really crazy. These high pitch guys, they do it for me because I like to get high and yell and be crazy. And these, Jerry, he was color. He was pure color though.
He is.
Like the dude knew how to wrestle shit, but he wasn't really like calling out. He wasn't technical about anything.
No.
He was just hyping the story in the match.
He was going to give you quips and anecdotes.
Yeah, and cracking jokes.
Exactly.
Which leads us to our next guy.
Uh-oh.
Austin, barbecue. Wait, that's Oklahoma. Pinata, the pole.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. Go Sooners.
Boomer Sooner or I'll do her later.
Wow.
This will be our last episode.
Yes. Come on, Sreten. Let's start with you for Jim Ross, man.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on fucking Jim Ross and what you think of his voice. That's the thing I want to talk about too, is like these guys fucking
I've watched stuff that I never watched. Like I didn't watch NWA as a kid. I didn't watch stuff before 1978 because that's the year I was born. But if you watch those old clips when he was just a wee little boy, he was part of that circle of people that added complete legitimacy to wrestling, to professional wrestling. When you watched it, and if you really broke down, if you just had the guys get in the ring in their underwears and do their thing and yell at people and cuss at people, a lot of people would be like, what the fuck? But it's the commentary, it's the Mean Gene, it's the little other, all the other things that they did that added legitimacy. And Jim Ross was one of the people that set the foundation for professional wrestling to feel legitimate and real and something that you can enjoy. Dude, and when he was calm, you were calm. And when he got hyped, like you followed his emotion while he did everything. It was so fucking cool. And if he freaked out, you're like, holy shit, that's something to be watching. I am freaking out too. You were almost never on the same wavelength as his energy. Like, and then he had a stroke and really didn't skip a beat. Like his voice changed a little bit, but it was just as iconic.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. He's a fucking legend, man.
I will say this real quick. He's the only guy, think about it, he could really truly be considered the voice of AEW, the voice of WCW, the voice of WWE. Did he do was it Mid-Atlantic back in the day?
I think so, yeah.
Or Memphis. It wasn't I don't know if it was Memphis, but dude's been all around,
Oh yeah. Totally.
But those three right there, to be the voice of those three, you could consider like, dude, early WCW, Jim Ross was awesome. The tone of his voice, like,
oh my God,
just so great. Cause he's older now, with the health problems and what it's still great, but you could tell it's like the voice is decayed a little bit. It happens with vocalists, man. Dude, Chris Cornell at the end, his shit couldn't bust out the fucking Jesus pipes anymore. He's more like,
I mean, you can hear it a little bit with Schiavone too. Like who doesn't, he doesn't look his
Schiavone
age.
Still has a good sound to his voice.
Yes,
totally. Like you could tell he's a little bit older, and he doesn't really look that old. He's he's rocking diamonons in his ears.
Oh, he looks great.
He knows how to style.
But when he screams and stuff, when he tries to do, you could see that there's, there's wear and tear.
He probably smokes a lot of cigarettes is what he does.
I don't know about that. But
all those dudes.
Stokes.
Part of the hype for AEW once they announced that they were going to have a show was those two guys, like Schiavone and JR. We're going to get to hear them again every week. They're going to be back in and then that's what they say too. Thanks for like making us a part of, thanks for letting us be in your living room with you, or however they say it. Like that is how they feel. When I watch that shit, I'm usually sitting on my couch, blowing farts filling my living room with farts and
eating cookies.
And I like, I get to hear those two voices, and Excalibur's growing on me, and like these other guys, the other dude's slower, way slower, but they're still there, and it's all on the backs of like JR and Schiavone. Like, yeah, that's the main reason. One of the main reasons I got hyped for AEW, because I didn't know a lot of the wrestlers back then. So why would I give a shit to watch something even though it's awesome? Like, it's good. They are good lubricants.
See, very good lubricants. Let's kick it back. Let's kick it back a little bit to WWE, WWF, the voice. That's the thing. The voice. Oh boy.
What do you mean? What do you mean here?
Coming down the aisle. Come on, wait. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know.
Howard Finkel, dude.
Yep.
Shit, dude. That fucking deep ass voice and that Luigi looking ass
booming.
man. Oh,
Booming,
dude.
with the mic dropping down from the ceiling.
Oh man.
Oh my God. What is there not to say? You just say Howard Finkel. It says it all. I mean, that got me hyped for matches. That was,
dude.
Bruce Buffer before Bruce Buffer.
I always wondered why. Yeah, at a weird point too. It seemed like they were phasing him out. Like he would only do WrestleManias. Like I'm even talking like 20 years ago when he was probably still, younger.
Saturday Night Main Event and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
and stuff. He was knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, they probably thought he was too old school or whatever. But dude, he was the shit.
That's the best. That's the classics, man. And that's that, old school, like, I don't even know how to say it, but that announcer voice,
He added, when I was talking earlier about those other guys adding to the legitimacy of the sport, of what it is, guys in their underwear, women in their underwear fighting, slapping each other and shit. Finkel was a guy that added to the grandiose spectacle of it. Like when Macho Man came out every time in like his elaborate outfits and Ric Flair and shit. Like,
yes.
He comes down, like Finkel comes down and mic drops and then he does the thing and it adds to big
fight feel, man.
Yes, big fight, exactly. Big fight
and
feel.
The voice. It's the voice.
It is the voice.
Fucking God.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can kill the sound like
this
that
match
guy.
set for one fall.
One fall.
Coming down the aisle.
And a combined weight of 455 pounds.
That's it. Yeah.
Earthquake.
You gotta love it.
Typhoon, the natural disasters. I can't fucking do it, but that
It's
was
the
my
best.
lame attempt.
No, it's good, man.
Howard Finkel,
okay.
Everybody, check Howard Finkel out. He was on the Legends
Yeah, if you
House
don't
too. And he
know.
was awesome. If you watch that, once again, we'll pop the peacock. Hit up WWE Network. You get to see guys like Mean Gene there. Another guy who's made our conversation tonight. Dude, Finkel was also a part of like that clique in. There's like a group of guys that are on this discussion topic board tonight. Gorilla Monsoon is another one who fits in with that era, and like. Guys our age and older will fucking probably know. It's weird that like such a guy, a wrestler, but the voice too, the voice that blended so well with Bobby the Brain Heenan or Lord Alfred Hayes or Mean Gene Okerlund. Oh, dude. Or Jesse the Body Ventura, who's another guy on this list, dude.
Golden Age.
Holy shit.
When I think about Vince McMahon, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jesse Ventura. Bobby the Brain Heenan. But any kind of interaction between those four guys, it didn't dawn on me when I was a kid. But when you watch on this again, you watch them on Peacock, like those are grown fucking muscle bound adults doing professional wrestling commentary, and they were having.
Could you imagine them doing the news?
Much fun, but it wasn't like silly fart joke fun. They were being so clever. They were having so much fucking fun.
Ribbing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember like the Saturday morning wrestling and shit?
Well, when people talk about like new age wrestling, like old school versus new school wrestling, spot monkey shit versus like slow it down, punch to the face, and then kick to the face, like how slow it was. Do you know what a factor in that shit was? It was the commentary was so good that they could do what they did in the ring. They could be slow, and for the audience it worked. They knew how to play the audience. But for us watching on television,
the voices,
you couldn't do it. Like put your TV on mute and enjoy the show. You'll enjoy it like 95% less.
Right. And that's that filler too. That filler during the rest spots is when you heard like Bobby Heenan or Jesse Ventura giving, whoever he's commentating with the business.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura busting out Vince McMahon or Bobby Heenan just pulling off 5 or 6 of his one-liners in a span of 1 minute.
Yeah.
That was the best part of that filler.
Well, it also added back in the day, the attitude was like, and it's still the case now, except there's a lot more kumbaya shit. Things like the wrestling world is a lot more accepting of everything, but you had that feeling when you heard these guys of like a dog eat dog, even with the commentators. So you always had to be on your guard. You always had to be prepared and on your toes, because there's somebody's going to either literally bust you in the head or start saying things and, you know, crack into your psyche and make you cry.
They're going to pull a 187. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, that was last episode. Sorry. Continue.
That was.
So fucking legends, man.
Yeah, exactly. And something I want to go back to quick. We were talking about Jim Ross is from the topic of the E/the F. We're talking about all these commentators. Like, you know, I'm not even going to go back and name them, but everything up.
They're all
everyone up until Jim Ross. There was something about him, whether it was the voice or their quips or their one-liners. Jim Ross, to me, is the one that told the story.
Yeah.
He told the story. He was the glue of that era when he anytime he commentated.
And it was, dude, and his voice was so good.
Exactly.
Telling it. You know, you couldn't pick any guy that could tell stories in the ring, and it's still, you don't hear that coming out. It's like,
but you know, he knew some moves, not like deep as catalog as some other commentators, but he knew the moves, but he also had one-liners. He had great one-liners, you know, and he was the glue to hold the story together, and he gave you the history. So he had a lot of it all in one. And I don't know if there's anyone ever bad that ever commentated with him. I think he was able to make it work with anyone.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
He did some shit with Jesse Ventura too when they're in WCW, you know, like the Saturday night stuff.
Yep.
And Jesse was awesome, dude. He's another guy. It's just these, man, like I said, they're all our uncles.
Quick-witted. He was so quick-witted.
Yeah.
Do you like Bobby Heenan?
Yeah, but dude, in his look, you know, he was like a fucking rip off a superstar Billy Graham.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, but it's still so cool, man, and like that tone of his voice, you know, and then like crossing over into badass shit like Predator.
Got trying to bleed. That was the best. I remember when that came out, I was so stoked because Jesse Ventura was in it.
Yeah, and he had that big ass fucking gun too. Like a Gatling gun.
Yeah, like a Gatling gun.
Exactly. Always got the wad of chew in his lip.
Yeah. Dude, he
was hair in your chest like mine.
Yeah, and he became governor.
Make you a goddamn sexual dynamo.
Dude, Jesse was great with Gorilla. He was great with Mean Gene. You know, Mean Gene
is great with
Jesse.
Vince.
I believe if you watch that documentary, Jesse called him Mean Gene. He started calling him Mean Gene, and then that's like how it came.
Yeah,
because
when I think about him, you know, you said Gorilla and everyone. I think he did his best work with Vince. I think him and Vince just had this such great back and forth. No, Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, Vince is another voice too. Vince. I mean, you know, he might as well come up in this discussion too.
You have to. If we're talking about Golden
when we were kids, we just knew him, let's be honest, as like the guy who was calling the matches.
Exactly.
And then once you get wise to this shit and you find out like he owns it, like,
oh, this guy's an asshole.
Blew my mind. I couldn't accept it for a little bit, you know?
Right.
Because I was a young, dumb kid.
He has a great voice too, though. He could commentate.
Yeah.
He had
over in the corner.
He was good at it. He was really good at it too. Yeah.
It was pretty paint by numbers, but he was really good at what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all these guys, dude, they all glued together with the one, the only, probably the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh my God.
You know, wrestle. Yeah. He could wrestle. He could manage. He was like the great.
Cut a promo.
Yeah, I remember he was like, yeah, dude, he could cut a promo. He worked with like the best in the business, and he was so quick-witted and could do anything you ask of him. And he was great. The chemistry between him and Jesse and Vince and Mean Gene and Gorilla Monsoon and whoever he worked with, you know, the guys in WCW, Mike Tenay, holy shit, man, to be like that good at what you do and to be as charismatic as he was. Bobby the Brain, and he got dealt a raw deal, man, towards the end of his life, you know, like the guy with the gift of gab is silenced, you know, like that's so fucking tragic, man. Like, but you know, on the bright side of things, like he's one of those guys too, that you hear that voice, man, that he's got like this mid-range kind of deal going on with his voice. And God damn, the guy was so fucking funny that like I couldn't wait Saturday mornings, man. I was looking forward to like the shit him and Mean Gene were doing, you know, like to be on a safari or some fucking weird shit.
Golfing.
Golfing.
When he's golfing.
When Bobby got left on the boat or some shit.
Yeah, he did.
Oh God.
Those little short skits were the best. Those things were funny.
He's also one of those guys that I wish was still around just to get for a lot of reasons. It sounds super selfish and shitty. I would love to
the brain in here. Yeah.
In 2022, pick Bobby the Brain Heenan's brain about what he thinks, because a lot of these other old timers just don't see how special it is right now. Or I like criticize, that's fine, but some guys just like take it too fucking far. You know.
Oh yeah.
Push it to the limit.
Yeah. But it would be cool.
The industry changes.
Yes. And it'd be cool. I think he would have complimentary things to say. I also think because his brain was he was made for this shit, for entertainment,
he knew psychology. He knew the psychology.
He might have been one of the best at the psychology of it.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to see how he would be able to.
I think Bobby was born in Indiana or Illinois. Like, so he's whatever the case, dude. You know, he's Midwest.
I don't know, man.
Midwest.
I don't know.
Wallace, is he your number one?
Bobby the Brain, yeah. But he's like, there's this weird amalgam, like almost like John Carpenter, The Thing deal with like him and Mean Gene and Jesse the Body and Gorilla. They're all like, but yeah, no, I love Bobby the Brain, dude.
He's awesome.
I do too. I don't know what my number one would be. That's really hard. They're really hard to, even if you asked me right now, name your top three, I couldn't.
No,
because each era had the best, and like it's just different phases of my life growing up watching wrestling.
I'm not the biggest fan of ranking stuff. I just like asking still.
Yeah,
I don't either.
Well, I like about name five, and then they don't have to be ranked.
Rank Michael Cole.
He'd be somewhere in the bottom 2, 3.
He would be, but dude, he is the voice of the WWE now. Like, dude, he has. Think how long he's been there, dude. Like since the 90s.
He was getting picked on in the back with Todd Pettengill.
He looked like a little baby man cow. I
thought that was Todd Pettengill's brother.
What? Todd Pettengill?
I thought it was Todd Pettengill's brother.
Who was the other guy? Sean Mooney. Who? Bobby the Brain always be like, who? We're taking it now backstage to Sean Mooney. Who?
Jeff Harvey.
Yeah, Jeff Harvey.
That's what Sean Mooney is known for, is the Jeff Harvey.
Wasn't
that Jeff Harvey?
That was no.
I swear that was Mooney.
No, that wasn't Mooney. That was, I forget what his name is. God damn it. He was a sportscaster, dude.
You're gonna make me have to look it up now.
You're gonna have to, but it's not. It's not him.
I swear it was Mooney.
Is he currently the main commentator?
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the senior. He's been there for like 30 years now.
Who does Raw? I can't remember the dude's name that does Raw. He's actually not bad.
The guy from
I've heard
ESPN?
some of his commentary. Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this guy's not bad.
Yeah.
Got a set of balls on him.
I like Pat McAfee, dude.
I love Pat McAfee.
That's a great. He gives me in modern day like Heenan vibes and like mixes of all those. You know, like that's the evolution of that type of character that these guys.
I think we have to add in Corey Graves. I like Corey Graves' commentary. I like his.
He's just trying to suck up the Sam Adonis.
Of course he is. Of course, he's the he's like the anti-Cole. He was for the longest time. You know, he played that role really well.
Yeah,
but he can. He's got the heel shit down.
Corey's cool, and he's got a good voice, and he has a good tone to his voice. It sounds good. You know, and Cole, like you're so used to it. I used to like hate him back in the day, but now it's like, you know, you accept him for what he is, and
that's the voice of WWE.
It'd be weird if he wasn't there. You know, when that day comes, it'll be weird because, man, as far as I know, he's like the most tenured guy, but he's worked his way up. You know, he was backstage back in the Attitude Era, looking like baby man Cal Muller.
Did we go through? Did we go through the list?
No.
Okay.
We're almost there. I could think of a few more.
Well, I got a question about
son of a bitch.
So we have an attachment. You guys have more so of an attachment and a knowledge of all these people on the list, especially like people that don't do it anymore or aren't with us anymore. So my question is, with the new guys that you hear in the main shows, and all the speed with which wrestling is now, the athleticism, and now you get a lot of, especially again, my reference is AEW, but when they do 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, or 3-on-3-on-3, 4-on-4-on-4, and you have to call those matches. I also think, as far as play-by-play and letting people know what's going on, I think it's way harder to do it now than back then. I do think that, because of the amount of action happening in the ring, and you can't just if you're watching, those guys don't get a second to fuck with each other. Those guys don't get a second to do certain things. There are slow spots, but in the middle of a lot of matches, you just don't. You're move.
I think that'll be tricky, but realistically, the best guy, if you're speaking of guys in the now that do it, and this is a guy that made the list, and he can go tit for tat, and he does it really well, and is Mauro Ranallo.
Thank you.
That fucking guy.
The first name I thought of.
Oh my God. It breaks my heart that he's not on mainstream professional wrestling. If he went to ROH, Tony Khan signed him to ROH. Oh, someone from AEW is listening to this show. We know they are.
You could be onto something there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, give me control of booking, Tony. I'll take control. I got your picture. But anyway,
Ranallo rules,
dude.
Great
and
voice.
He's the MMA. The great thing, he's the modern. He's crossover. I bet you, if the opportunity was afforded to Jim Ross back in the day, he would have loved to have maybe
done some boxing.
Boxing, or he's called some football games.
Yeah.
I know he's done that. It would be cool to hear him in a different environment like that. Schiavone was calling baseball, dude.
Mm-hmm. Baseball.
I want to go back and try to find some of that stuff. It would just be weird for me, but
it would be. I'd dig it.
Mauro, he knows his fucking stuff though, and that's what's great.
Oh my God,
right? You're talking about the cadence
for everything
and keeping up with the modern day. Dude, wrestling is fucking just boomed as far as in-ring product. It's so quick now. Who does he do commentary for? Well, dude, he does. He's Showtime. I think HBO boxing.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He was doing some Bellator, I thought, or
he
something.
Did some Bellator. Okay. He's dude. He just did Impact last year.
Yeah,
I think he did it once or twice. And since he did NXT for a little minute there. But he was great, dude. The Mamma Mia,
you gotta love it.
It's so much. There's so much. Maybe I don't know personally if there's influence from guys we've listed like Jim Ross and whoever, but you would think so, because you could hear it, man. You feel it.
Yeah, he's got great one-liners, dude.
He's the guy that a major promotion needs to just open a checkbook to.
Oh, for sure,
and deal with his problems.
Yeah, that dude rules. I want to hear him commentating some wrestling. I need it. Yeah, give me some more of that.
Maybe he'll comment on the JB Dub dice game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways.
Yes, he will.
Yeah. You just derailed this fucking podcast.
You did. Hey, I don't know if he's on the list or not, but I just want to follow this up real quick because we're talking about Mauro, another great commentator calling quick matches precisely. I think is Excalibur. I think he does a great job of keeping up.
Yeah. Could you
knowing
imagine
the moves,
him,
knowing the story, knowing the background,
or even Excalibur and Mauro together?
That's disgusting. Yeah, dude.
It's filthy. Dude, at some point, I mean, you got to realize how much longer is Jim Ross going to do it? And we're talking about voices and shit. And as he gets older, dude, his voice is, going to wind down or whatever. And it's
right.
I want to hear some fresh fucking people that are really good at it, because I like the sounds of their voice. If people don't watch us on fucking YouTube and you're only out there listening and you think we're all sexy with our vocal capabilities, then, that's on you. And I appreciate it.
One of us is.
You're listening to The Quiet Storm with Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to a babbling Baruch on the Juice Pro Wrestling
Pack it and ship
Podcast.
It, baby.
You're getting soaking wet listening to the sounds of tropical rainforests on the Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast.
now that we've left everybody wet, maybe we leave this topic behind for another day.
Maybe,
because there's so much more we could touch on. But dude, all those guys that we talked about tonight are huge influences on what I like to do, and without even thinking about it. I just, I analyze like some of the shit that they're doing. I'm like, man, I kind of have some ticks like that and do that. Like, and it's super cool to be influenced by these people because they're all A-list at what they do, and they're the best to ever do it. And there's a lot of people we didn't touch on tonight. Like I said, maybe we'll have more coming at you later. Right now, real quick, before we sign off, a couple of things coming up. It's WrestleMania week. Is Cody Rhodes going to show up? Who knows? Bodi wants to fucking rain down terror on his ass.
Are you serious? Bringing up Cody Rhodes right now?
He's all butthurt.
Pissing me off. Fuck that guy. That guy sucks.
Oh. Bodi cuts a promo on Cody Rhodes.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to leave. I got everything I need here in this company that I helped build from the ground up. I want a little bit more control. So I'm going to go somewhere where I have no control and I'll just be Stardust again in 4 weeks. Fucking prick.
Bodi cuts a promo on Cody Rhodes.
What an asshole. Who wakes up one day and says, hey, I'm going to get this bitchin' Transformers tattoo on my fucking neck, you dick.
Bodi cuts a promo on Cody Rhodes.
He's going to have that one high profile match. People are going to chant his name 2 weeks later. No one's going to chant his name. He's going to be wanting out of WWE again.
Sreten still thinks it's a work. You bozos.
One thing I can say that's good in that deal is at least they didn't sign Brandy.
All right. So he's supposed to wrestle. Let's put it down on internet paper.
They just put the Seth Rollins video out as of this recording today. McMahon's telling him.
Rollins.
I know they're leaking stuff, but I still think it's a work. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't.
I heard the Raw after.
I still hope he's Stardust.
But I hope he doesn't go there. Personally, my thing is, I hope he doesn't.
It doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't make sense.
Big fucking work.
Like, I don't know. Like, never say never in the wrestling business. But
this is why it
doesn't make sense to me.
You guys think I'm full of shit, but I genuinely think that AEW and WWE are working together. Cody Rhodes is the reason. Because otherwise, it makes no sense at all.
No.
It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't make sense.
They don't want to make sense. They want to make dollars.
He's gonna get signed to Ring of Honor Friday night before WrestleMania, and he's gonna stick the finger to Vinnie Mac. I don't know.
Sorry, guys.
What'd you do? Fart?
No, my brother just scared the fucking shit out of me.
We're brothers.
Dude, I'm looking at the camera. I got to edit this. I'm looking at the camera on the right side. I'll leave it in, I guess. This cup started floating. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see a hand and everything is flipped. There's no way you can get in on this other side. And I turn around and he's smiling at me. Scared the fucking shit out of me.
From the shadows.
Looking in the shadows.
I wish you'd have given a stunner. That'd have been great.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I fucked that up. Holy shit.
I needed that because I was getting hot.
It was refreshing.
Oh, Lord, you scared the shit out of me.
Anyways, WrestleMania fucking weekend.
Good old Cody.
GCW Collective, all these shows, Ring of Honor, running Supercard of Honor.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be huge.
FTR.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be, I think FTR's taking the belts, dude.
Oh, they are. And they're like swimwear. Oh, yeah.
And I think Uncle Brett might come to town.
Oh, yeah. And he's in there like swimwear, too.
Yeah.
In there like swimwear?
In there.
And then all
like
of a sudden
swimwear.
here, dun, 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 dun.
Meow, meow, meow. Dude, best music ever.
Yeah, their theme song fucking
rips.
Oh, to the Menards.
You know what? One more thing. Cody, you'll never be the star your daddy was. Sorry. Not sorry. And you won't be half the star your brother is. Not sorry.
Oh shit, man! There's fucking
heat-seeking missiles coming from the Bodi camp. Bodi cuts a promo on only one man.
And that's not me being buttered you left AEW because I was booing you before you left AEW.
That's kind of why it doesn't make sense. I didn't know we were going to conclude. Like, this whole thing was really positive, and then I pooped my pants because of my brother.
You did.
But like,
Sreten takes a shit in his pants.
This Cody thing, it's like it's the internet age. 5 minutes after something happens, everybody forgot that it happened.
Exactly.
You're going to set fire to this massive bridge that you created between
if
you
it does
and
happen,
AEW.
I won't like it that he goes, but it'll still be a huge fucking moment. Be a fucking
that's his heel turn. He signed with the E. You son of a bitch.
Well, even though it doesn't really make sense, if it's popular and
I
people
like
like it, and even if
psychology.
it's not like, I actually don't. I don't care. I'm not going to be so hurt about it.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I'm not really hurt about it. I just didn't think it made sense, and I like digging in on Cody. Anytime I can cut a promo on someone, I'm going to do it.
There's only been 2 people.
Yeah, Matt Nagy. And look what happened after I started cutting promos on him. Drove his ass out of fucking Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. He did.
Fucking tightest cheeks in the game. Once I cut them scathing promos on you, boy, hit the bricks. You're done. You're fucking done, son.
This is probably a bad time to announce that we're going to have a 4th co-host starting next week, and it's
Really?
the
It's your
American
brother,
Nightmare,
Monte? It's
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Sweet.
Everything I said here on this episode, I can say to his fucking face.
That'd be awesome.
Cody, show up.
Yeah, come on.
Go up and check out the
Give us
tightest
some time.
cheeks in the game. Oh,
Watch us kiss your ass.
I'm flexing him on the chair.
Sreten will smoke your cigar.
Jesus.
It's 2022. People can smoke cigars.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess
can.
so.
Let's smoke
roll
this
'em.
fucking episode, guys. Hey. Thank
What?
you. Thank you for joining me and not being sick today, boys. I'm really proud of you today.
No 100-degree favors for this guy.
None whatsoever. And thank you all for watching and listening and subscribing, and sharing and downloading and talking to your friends about the Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast, because it's fucking fun.
Stinky.
We'll be back again next week with another slab of fucking, I don't know, but it's going to be good. You can count on that. Hey, find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that shit. Buy the fucking shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees. Check it out.
Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt. Buy the shirt.
Yeah.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the motherfucking shirts because it helps us out. And all you got to do is hit like on
Helps you out,
everything we
too.
post. It's easy. It takes 2 seconds. Be cool with us. Be our motherfucking friends. We'll all get along, make the world
A little better place. Probably not, but anyways, that was episode 188 of the Juice Bruiser motherfucking Bodi, tightest cheeks in the game. It's the Soap Savage. Until next time.
when I'm up, when I'm up, when I'm up. I think they've had enough.
What? Them up.
You gonna do sex to me?
Did you like that video? If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out more killer content from your boys at Juice Pro Wrestling. Whoa, yeah!